In the rich tapestry of Buddhist teachings, parables hold a special place. Today, we delve into the profound wisdom of a simple yet powerful story, the parable of the two monks and the woman. Originating from the ancient lands of the East, this parable has traversed centuries, its timeless wisdom reaching the hearts of many. The parable of the two monks and the woman unfolds in a humble setting, where two monks embark on a journey, their path laden with lessons. The tale is steeped in simplicity, yet it holds a profound message about the human mind and the burden of attachment. This age-old narrative is not merely a story, but a mirror reflecting our own experiences, our struggles, and our journey towards understanding. It's a tale that prompts introspection, urging us to examine our thoughts, our perceptions, and our reactions to the world around us. So, without further ado, let's journey back in time to the world of these two monks. Our story begins with two monks, older Tansen and younger Nanda, embarking on a journey across the country. They set off under the vast, open sky, their hearts filled with purpose and their minds focused on the path ahead. They were not merely traveling. They were on a spiritual journey, one that required not only physical endurance, but also mental discipline. Tansen, the older of the two, was a seasoned monk, wise and serene. His eyes, like tranquil ponds, reflected a profound understanding of life. His steps were measured, and his calm demeanor radiated a sense of peace that could soothe even the most restless soul. Tansen embodied the virtues of patience and acceptance, his every action a testament to the wisdom he had acquired over his years of dedicated practice. Nanda, on the other hand, was youthful and energetic. His eyes sparkled with curiosity, and his steps were quick, mirroring his eagerness to learn and grow. His spirit was fiery, and his heart was full of ambition. Nanda was disciplined, yes, but he was also a seeker, always yearning for more knowledge, more understanding. Despite their contrasting personalities, Tansen and Nanda shared a strong bond. They were more than mentor and student, they were companions on the same path, each learning from the other. Tansen's wisdom and serenity balanced Nanda's energy and curiosity, creating a harmonious partnership. They shared meals, they shared silence, they shared laughter, and most importantly, they shared the journey. Their journey took them through bustling cities and tranquil villages, over high mountains and across vast plains. They experienced the beauty of nature, the hustle and bustle of human life, and the serene stillness of solitude. Their journey was not just a physical one, it was also a journey of the mind and spirit. As they journeyed, they arrived at a river, an encounter that would forever change their perception. At the river, they met a woman. She was stuck, unable to cross the river on her own. There she was, a damsel in distress, her face worn with worry and her clothes soaked from a failed attempt. The river, it seemed, was too much for her to handle alone. Now, Tansen, the older monk, was quick to approach the woman. His heart, filled with compassion, propelled him into action. He saw a fellow being in need and decided to lend a helping hand. Without a second thought, Tansen bent down, offering his back to the woman. With a grateful nod, she climbed onto his back, and together they began to cross the river. On the other side of this scene was Nanda, the younger monk. His eyes widened in shock and disapproval. He stood frozen, watching the spectacle unfold before him. You see, in their monastic order, it was considered inappropriate to touch a woman, even more so to carry one. Nanda was torn between the teachings of his order and the display of compassion by his elder. But Tansen, oblivious to the turmoil in Nanda's mind, carried on. He trudged through the water, his focus on helping the woman reach the other side. His steps were firm, his resolve unwavering, and before long, they were on the other side of the river. The woman, relieved and grateful, thanked Tansen and went on her way. Tansen, after ensuring the woman was safe, returned to Nanda. He noticed the younger monk's troubled expression, but chose not to address it right away. Instead, he simply smiled, a smile that held a world of wisdom, and gestured for them to continue their journey. Having crossed the river, they continued their journey, but the encounter had left an indelible mark on Nanda. This was an encounter that would stir up a storm in Nanda's mind, a storm that would eventually lead to a profound realization. But for now, the journey continued. the river behind them and the path ahead filled with more lessons to learn. The monks walked on in silence, but Nanda's mind was anything but silent. The tranquility of the journey had been disrupted by the incident at the river, and Nanda's thoughts were a whirlwind of confusion and resentment. His mind, much like a turbulent sea, was in a state of unrest. He couldn't comprehend Tansen's actions. The rules they lived by were clear, strict, and Tansen had broken one of the most fundamental ones. Nanda couldn't shake off the image of Tansen carrying the woman across the river, a rule they had vowed to follow, trampled underfoot without a second's hesitation. The silence of the journey was punctuated by the loud clamor of Nanda's thoughts. He wrestled with his feelings, his beliefs, and the reality of what he had witnessed. The more he thought about it, the more his anger grew. A storm was brewing inside him, and it threatened to break the peaceful facade he had been maintaining. Unable to hold it in any longer, Nanda confronted Tansen. "Why did you carry the woman?" he asked, his voice betraying the anger and confusion that had been building up inside him. He expected an argument, a justification, an explanation that would somehow make sense of Tansen's actions. But Tansen's reply was neither defensive nor argumentative. Instead, it was a calm and measured response that cut through the chaos of Nanda's thoughts. "I left the woman at the river. Why are you still carrying her?" The question hung in the air like a Zen koan, inviting Nanda to reflect on his own actions. It wasn't about the woman or the river or the broken rule. It was about the burden that Nanda had chosen to carry with him. The burden of his thoughts, his anger, his judgment, the burden of the mind. Tansen's reply was simple yet profound. "I left the woman at the river. Why are you still carrying her?" The real question was not about what had happened, but about what Nanda was allowing to continue. The woman was long gone, but the burden of the mind, that was something Nanda was choosing to carry on his own. The real weight was not in the action, but in the reaction, not in the event, but in the interpretation. This response left Nanda speechless. It was then he realized the depth of Tansen's wisdom. As the story unfolds, we delve deeper into its profound meaning and the lessons it imparts. In the heart of this parable lies the profound teaching of Buddhism, the art of letting go. Tansen, the older monk, embodies this principle by helping the woman cross the river and then releasing the experience from his mind as soon as it was over. He did not allow the incident to take root and grow into a burden, unlike Nanda, who carried it for miles, both physically and mentally. The river in the story is a metaphor for life's challenges. Just like the river, these challenges can be treacherous and difficult to navigate. However, once we have crossed these rivers, it is essential to leave them behind and not carry their memory as a burden. The woman, on the other hand, represents actions or events from our past. We often carry these past actions with us, allowing them to weigh us down, just like Nanda did. However, as Tansen demonstrates, it is possible to engage with these events, learn from them, and then let them go. He teaches us that clinging to the past, to actions that are done and dusted, only leads to a burdened mind and a heavy heart. This parable is a gentle reminder of the importance of living in the present. It teaches us not to let past actions or future anxieties steal our present moment. Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts of past regrets or future worries, leaving us little room to truly live and appreciate the present. The parable serves as a timeless reminder. The weight of our burdens is only as heavy as we make it. It invites us to reflect on our own lives, on the burdens that we carry, and encourages us to ask ourselves, are we like Nanda, holding on to things that no longer serve us? Or can we be like Tansen, fully present and unburdened by the past? It's a question worth pondering. The parable of the two monks and the woman is more than just a story. It's a lesson in mindfulness and the art of letting go. It urges us to contemplate, to look inward and ask ourselves, are we carrying burdens that need to be set down? Are we holding on to past experiences, allowing them to shape our present and future? This parable is a mirror reflecting our everyday lives. It highlights the significance of living in the moment, of being present and attentive to now, rather than being bound by what was or what might be. It's a gentle reminder to not let past actions or future worries steal our present peace. In the humdrum of life, let's take a moment to introspect. Are we, like the second monk, still carrying the woman? Or have we learned to be like the first monk, leaving the past where it belongs, in the past. Thank you for joining us on this journey of wisdom and self-discovery. Remember, the past is a place of reference, not residence. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.